Naitigarh, a north center of Kathmandu, the federal capital of Nepal, with the very important organs of the state, such as the federal government secretariat, Sima Darbar, the Supreme Court of Nepal, then the federal parliament of Nepal, literally a stone's throw, as well as the Kathmandu district court, a stone's throw. From this vantage point, Maitigar has a central, it's a very important address for the country. And over the years, this nerve center has emerged as a venue for all sorts of protests, like Jantar Mantar of New Delhi and the Hyde Park in London. The protesters perhaps expect that their voices will be heard because it is at the center of the Nepali state, this Maitighar Mandala. That's why all sorts of protests take place. In fact, not a day goes by without protests taking place in this place. Just some months ago, there was this protest of loan shark victims. Then came uh, protests against gender-based violence. Then teachers and non-teaching staff of community schools staged a protest against the education bill, so on and so forth. These days, uh, motley groups have been staging protests for quite some time. They include sugarcane farmers, uh, proprietors of private schools, and those demanding an end to aggression against Nepali territories, including in Lipule, Kalapani, and Limpiadhura. What are their demands? Let's talk a bit about them. The sugarcane farmers have been demanding that the government pay them 70 rupees per quintal, uh, 70 rupees for every quintal of sugarcane produced. They point out that this promise to pay 70 bucks per quintal is very much in the red books, in the red book, in the budget of the government of Nepal, of the federal government. And despite this, these farmers, you can see them protesting in the background. Uh, these farmers, these growers from the southern plains of Nepal point out, they allege that the government has not bothered to pay them. The government, in fact, according to them, wants to pay half that promised sum, uh, citing that it doesn't have enough funds to pay them. On their part, these protesters claim that the government has ample sum. There is no dearth of money for payment. Uh, while speaking at their protest on August 29, uh, the Sugarcane Producers Federation accused the government of not paying, reneging on its commitment to pay these people because of certain biases on the part of finance minister and the prime minister. Uh, their point was that the government did not want to pay because it wanted to settle some old scores with these people. I don't know what that old score was, but there was one speaker from the Federation claiming that the government wanted to settle old scores with them. I don't know what that was. And some more serious allegations surfaced at that protest. One protester, I heard him say that uh, the finance minister actually wanted commission from them to release the sum, while this minister for agriculture was quite positive about giving them that money, 70 rupees per quintal. Uh, the roadblocks came from the prime minister as well as the finance minister. That was their claim. So this protest has been continuing for quite some time. And what one more point is that these farmers see that this 70 rupees per quintal is that they are not asking, they are not begging for this sum of money. In fact, they are claiming what is their due. That is what these farmers have been saying. Countries all over the world provide certain subsidies to farmers. That includes our very own neighbor India, the United States, France, and a whole lot of countries provide subsidies to farmers. And maybe these people are right in demanding that payment in exchange for they are saying these growers, these producers are claiming that that this is what they call a VAT refund. In fact, the government is not doing them any service. Just the government is not doing them. It won't be doing them any favor by paying the sum. This is their money and they want it back. That is what I gathered while listening to them during a protest in Maitikar uh, on August 29. Then come another group of protesters. These are, by the way, these people, these sugarcane farmers, they pointed out that the government was working for some vested interests at the expense of domestic farmers. That's also, I guess, a serious allegation against the government that claims to be working for the people and the country. The government should just respond to these allegations. By the way, we are not uh, blaming the government. We don't have the proof to do that. But as a medium, uh, we are just uh, uh, talking about the allegations that surfaced during this protest of farmers, sugarcane farmers from the southern plains. The government, if it is worth its name, if it gives due regard to accountability, if it is responsible to the people, and if it is indeed serious about protecting democracy, human rights, farmers' rights, and whatnot, and if it is indeed serious about protecting the right to information, then it should just come clean on these allegations. That is what I feel. Moving further, uh, proprietors of private schools have been also staging protests for quite some time. They have been protesting against the education bill, and at the same program, at the same venue on August 29, a number of proprietors of private schools accused the government. They leveled some serious allegations against the government. They accused the government of just trampling on their interests, undermining their interests. Uh, Over the years, private schools have this emerged as an essential, as a very important part of Nepal's school education system, given that this is in the absence of public schools. There is no absence as such of public schools, but the quality of education that they provide leaves much to be desired. There are not many like students enrolling in such schools, public schools, community schools. Even the teachers and non-teaching staff of these schools want to enroll their children in private schools. The charges, the fee are quite high in private schools, but parents and guardians don't have many options. Many of these people cannot afford to just send these children of school going age to foreign boarding schools, foreign private schools. So rather than public schools where there is a dearth of infrastructure, there is dearth of teachers and whatnot, and the quality of education that they provide is also not up to the mark in most of the cases. So the parents have no option but to send their children to these private schools, though the charges, though the fee is quite high. So what these protesting teachers were saying is that the government, uh, by seeking to just uh, prevent private schools from like working as companies, by barring them from seeking profit, was in fact trying to cause the collapse of these private schools and thereby the education system in Nepal. And it was working in the interest of some vested interests, some education mafia, powerful education mafia that wants the collapse of private schools in Nepal, so that college goers, school children also uh, go abroad for studies, thus bleeding these private schools dry. That was their serious allegation. These private schools accused the government of working in the interest of powerful vested interest groups, putting their like investment worth billions of rupees at risk, and they want obviously their concerns addressed. These protests I talked about, protests of teachers and non-teaching staff of community schools, protest of loan shark victims, protest of sugarcane farmers, and then the protest of this ongoing protest of private private schools, operators and proprietors of private schools. What do these series of protests suggest? They suggest, I think, that the government is getting increasingly unpopular by the day. Some questions arise, questions like, on whose behalf is this government working? It claims to be working for the people and the country, but which interest groups is it pandering to? It is getting increasingly unpopular. Whose interest is it trying to solve? The interests of education mafia that wants school children not to study in Nepal, that want school children to go abroad for studies like college goers, uh, uh, and then come sugarcane farmers. They are also saying they have also been accusing the government of pandering to certain business interests at the expense of domestic sugarcane growers, whose interest is our government uh, protecting by the sidelining the concerns of various protest groups such as sugarcane farmers, school children, private schools, loan shark victims, and whatnot. This is the question that the government needs to answer. The sooner it does, the better. Thank you. And by the way, if you have not subscribed to this channel, I request that you do. We are trying to promote citizen journalism. We are trying to be your true voice. So comment on our presentation, subscribe to our channel, and press that like button if it touches your hearts and minds. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching.